Guys, I'm back in a YouTube video. Now today's video, guys, we're gonna be doing worst to best Home Alone today, and weird sound is happening, yeah, we're gonna do a Home Alone. I know it's been a while. I'm gonna do another video on Rage Opinions today, and then tomorrow I'll kind of just do Horror Lover 13 Rage Opinions, and then Sunday Horror Lover 13 Rage Opinions, and I'll be done. I know it's been a while, so let's get started. At number 5, because there are 5 Home Alone movies. If you haven't watched Home Alone movies, they're really, really good movies that you can watch. They're enjoyable. So at number 5, I'm going to put the 4th one, because the 4th one, just, the kid in the movie was really, really annoying. He was just, in a way, he wasn't that smart as the other kids in the movies. He didn't set up as much traps. He kind of just used like these gadget things, and he didn't really do much. You didn't see some of the traps that he put up. He only put up like 2 traps and all that. But the kid was pretty smart in a technology way. He wasn't like in like a booby trap way, But 4th one is okay. The 4th one is different from the other ones because in this one you really don't know what person is, kind of making this all happen. But at the end you find out it's the maid in the movie who did it, and they eventually take him out, and then the other lady that was dating the boy's dad, they kind of screwed her at the end of the movie. I can't say much about it though. So let's just go on to the next one. At number 4, I'm gonna put the 3rd one. No, actually the first one. Sorry. Now the first one just wasn't good because the kid was less. Because you got to see Kevin playing 2 movies on Home Alone, the first one and the second one. And on this one, he just didn't have as good traps as he did on the second one. He was kind of just threw off on this one. And it did show more of the family than it did the kid. But on the second one, it showed more of the kid than the family, which this one just threw it off because it showed more of the family than they did for the kid. This movie was less interesting because he was just home. He wasn't in New York or something. The traps weren't good. Like this one was kind of just like a 0.1 version of the first and second Home Alones. Just in the first one, the kid wasn't as good as he was in the second one, and it really threw me off on the first one. Still a good movie. The jokes between the movie were pretty funny. For the first time seeing this movie, it was pretty decent. It wasn't bad, but let's go to number 3, which is the 3rd movie. Now, the 3rd one, I will say, this kid in the 3rd one made excellent traps. His traps were honestly really, really dangerous. He had electrical traps. He had weights falling on your head traps, mud traps. I mean, this kid was outstanding with his traps. This movie just doesn't deserve to be at the top because, just the way this movie goes along, it doesn't deserve to be at the first one. But I will say this kid made excellent traps. I love the interesting story about how the robbers, what they were trying to get for the man. They were trying to get this microchip in the car to give it to this other man. I'll say that's more interesting story than, oh, there's just robbers coming in your house. They're going to steal all your stuff. We want it more realistic. We don't just want to think about a regular robber. And that's what makes it interesting about this one, is because they're trying to find a microchip for like a Air Force or something, and they failed to get it. And the leader of the robbers has been out there for 7 years. At least that's what the cops said, and they never really caught him, but they finally did. And the end of the movie is really funny because you get to see all of them take their pictures before they go to jail, and they have chicken pox which is ironic because Kevin, well, I don't know I think it was Alex. Oh yeah, it was Alex, the kid's name. He got chicken pox as well, and then I guess it just passed on because the kid was sick in the movie, and that's why he was home alone. And they were having like a massive blizzard. And number 2, I'm gonna put the second one. The second one was really, really great. I thought this was like a 2.0 version of the first one. And the kid just had way more better traps. This was more of an interesting story because you got to see the same robbers, the same kid, and they came back together. And I loved it. I mean, it turned out to be an amazing movie for the second time. This sequel was way better than the first one, I will say. And the kid had better traps. And a more interesting story. He got lost in New York. This one was just like, I love watching this movie. And it's funny because out of all the chances that robber and the same kid would meet each other back in New York, and the bandits in the first and second movie, I think they're one of the most funniest robbers out of the entire series. But you'll see at number 1 why I absolutely love number 1. But yeah, this one was just better. It was just everything was upgraded basically from this movie than the first one, and I loved it. So number 1 is the 5th one. Now the 5th one, you guys may disagree with me that the 5th one just didn't have as good jokes. It wasn't as good. But I loved the 5th one. If you haven't guys watched it, it came out in 2012. It's called The Holiday Heist. And I loved this one. Now, there are a couple reasons why I like this. I mean, because the bandits were funny. They kept making jokes about the ghost in the house. And then, you know, obviously the leader of the bandits, you know, he didn't believe him or anything. The kid in the movie, he was really, really, like, curious. He was kind of immature. And that's what you want to see from Home Alone kids. You want to see immature kids. And, you know, and then the sister in the movie, she was pretty funny, too. She got locked in that secret room. And at the end, like, they found a way out. This kid had really, really good traps. I love the traps that the kid did. Not just traps that, you know, ruin someone's kind of, like kind of hurt someone, but like they grow someone out. Like when the guy, you know, he wanted to eat the gingerbread cookie. Cause I love that guy. He's really funny. But it was actually like sauce and all this gross stuff put together. And then he drank the milk and it was glue. And then he reached for the faucet to clean himself. And then he just got cotton balls all over his face. And he looked like Santa. And the lady in the movie, she ended up looking like Rudolph. And then you got to see the neighbor kid, who was also funny, because, you know, he was creative with these snowballs. Everybody in this movie acted great. Like, I could just endless say stuff about this movie. And once again, what the robbers were trying to take was more interesting as well. They were trying to find a priceless painting that they finally found, and it was locked in this secret room in their basement, and it's just way better than like bandits trying to steal money or something. But this movie was just, I gotta say, this was the best movie yet. I don't want them to make a 6th one. I want them to just stop here because this was the best one yet. So what do you guys think about my worst to best Home Alone? Later, once I think about a video, I will do a video on Rage Opinions 21, and I will see you next time.